Hello and welcome to the Stateside Soccer Show. My name is Jordan. With me, as always, is Logan. How you say, Logan?
I am hanging in there. There is a storm of brewing, Jordan, and not
Again?
one of always. It seems like, dude, it hasn't
We
stopped
just
raining
had
here
some
for like 3
yesterday
weeks.
too. Yeah.
What is going on? The world is
Global
angry.
warming.
That's what yeah,
Literally. This is
and we
what's
don't
going
deny
on.
it here.
We do not. We are very woke here.
We are
Um,
extremely woke. Get us off here.
but no, yeah, like that's great. We had a terrible storm yesterday. It cleared up in time for one of my other podcasts, so that hopefully
That's good.
it doesn't. I had to remember last week when I edited it, after your
Oh, that was a
issue, I was like, I got
disaster.
to make sure I cut out that weird moment where you like
I was
froze.
gone. Yeah, it seems like the whole nation is getting smacked with flash floods. I mean, it's awful. Like the three teams. Did you see that though? The three teams. Great gesture. They're all giving money to the victims in what part of Texas was that? I forget what the name was, but they are
Texas.
giving. Yeah, it's in Texas. They're giving money and a lot of proceeds are going towards the families and victims out in Texas in the flooding. So, but yeah, it's Jordan. The world is angry. We are planning to go out to Seattle this fall because it was part of Ashley's birthday present last fall.
Right.
But Mount Rainier is out there is like having tons of earthquakes around it, and that's
Is it
a
really?
very active volcano, I guess. I guess it's made some noise lately, and I was like, I don't know, because I looked up, will Seattle be impacted, and it said yes, like ash could get to Seattle from Mount Rainier.
Just Ash.
Like,
And
that's
your
terrible.
wife's name is Ashley, so it
Right.
fits.
And I love Pokemon, so it all fits.
Yeah, there you go.
But I was looking at games, obviously, and I think at the times I was looking, Seattle does play out there, and I think they play Vancouver or Portland.
Wow. So we might have end of the world type stuff over there.
Correct.
Playing
The
on
Last of
lava.
Us.
Literal floor is lava.
Yes.
Being played over there.
Yeah. The Last of Us, and it can be a soccer documentary instead. And it would be like The Last of Us cheering on the Seattle
Still starring
Sounders.
Pedro Pascal. We'll still get him in there.
Yes.
Daddy.
Our
Our friend Jack is taking his annual soccer trip this weekend with AJ from they used to do the Final Third podcast, and they are going to Union Omaha versus South Georgia Tormenta on Friday night in USL League One, and then Saturday they're driving over to Sporting Kansas City versus NYCFC. So maybe our game of the week. No, it's not our game of the week. Sorry. Have fun.
Answered my question though. I was about to ask, like, where are they going to Georgia? But that would be a very long drive.
Yeah, no, they're going to Omaha first and then driving to SKC afterwards.
I don't know if many people visit Omaha unless they're going for the College World Series. They might.
Peyton Manning was a big Omaha guy, wasn't he?
Well, he yelled about it often. His production
never
studios,
visited, just yelled about it.
Yeah, and his production studio is called Omaha, which is funny.
Yeah, based not out of Omaha, I guess, but
no.
No, I mean it's pretty cool though. They'll knock two stadiums off their list, I guess. So, they're kind of like close by. It's just like a couple hour drive for them to get to Omaha. Then I think it's like a 3 to 4 hour drive from there to SKC. So like not like
it's
super
not bad
far.
at all.
Yeah. So they'll. I wish I was kind of that close to some of these clubs, but alas. I feel like I kind of hit the ones I'm closest to when it comes to almost every sport at this point, because I've been to, Audi Field in DC. I've been to Philly, obviously. I've been to New York, Red Bulls now. I'm going to wait NYCFC until they're in their new stadium. No reason to go to Yankee Stadium and watch a match in that. Instead, I'll mark Yankee Stadium off when I go to a baseball game. Same thing with Citi Field. I'm not going to Citi Field to watch a soccer game. So I've been to those stadiums around me, and then there's not I've been to Maryland Soccerplex, which at one point was the Washington Spirit's home. It was the Bobcats' home. It was where DC United played all of their Open Cup games for a time. But I don't know. I don't think I'm super close to any of these like USL League One, USL Championship teams, other than like going out to Pittsburgh for the
That's what I
Riverhounds.
was going to ask you.
That's probably the closest one. Which we had a listener that we have a listener that is and a follower on Twitter that works for the Riverhounds and said like, hey, come out here when you get a chance, and I want to. It just is very tough to get out there for me. Even when I had to go to Pittsburgh earlier this year,
Yeah,
it's not at a time where they're there, or we are literally there for one day and are not going for a game. We're visiting friends or something. So it's been tough to really knock off. I haven't knocked any stadium off my list this year. And soccer wise, I don't think I knocked anything off last year. At least like last year, I did knock off like a hockey game. I knocked off a basketball game, stuff like that. But like I haven't been able to really get to any of these new soccer stadiums around me.
Well, we'll just convince Joy when you come down here to Orlando. We'll
I've
take
been
you to
there.
We'll take you to the Rowdies game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, true.
It's like an hour from me. So
well, we might, they haven't been good this year, so that
no,
might
they've
be
not been rowdy.
cheap tickets.
Speaking of stadiums, kind of a segue here. Did you hear what Gianni Infantino said about stadiums in particular, and talking about after World Cup or during the Club World Cup final? They do like that press tour kind of thing. They asked Gianni Infantino about how he thought the Club World Cup went, and it did really well. It performed really well with some of these big teams.
Oh, it went
obviously
well results-wise too.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, Jordan, I'd rather not seen PSG win it, so I was kind of happy that Chelsea. I honestly, I think it's better.
Destroyed them.
Yeah, but I think it's better for the Premier League when Chelsea's better, because they've kind of faded.
I agree.
Yeah, so it's more fun for us when they're more competitive, because then it's truly the three of our teams sitting at the top hanging out.
Real quick before you segue fully to this Infantino thing, I saw this great post on Facebook that I sent to my dad yesterday, and it was like the trophies the London clubs have brought home this year, and it was Chelsea with the Conference League and the Club World Cup, and then it had Spurs won the Europa League. It shows Crystal Palace with the FA Cup, and then it shows Arsenal with nothing.
With
my dad's an Arsenal fan, for the listeners. So I sent that to him. He was like, "Hey, take it easy."
Yeah. Well, besides our just wonderful president of the United States, and I say that very sarcastically,
wouldn't get out of the way of Chelsea celebrating.
I love what Cole Palmer's like. I don't know what he was doing. I had no idea.
Reece James is like looking at him like, "Can you move?"
I thought Reece James was going to knock him out, but but anyway, the reason why I brought that up is Jordan, he mentioned specifically that the heat was unbearable during the Club World Cup. And mind you, Jordan, he talked about playing in stadiums that were covered. So there's continuing conversation of like, he's still not convinced that playing in outdoor venues are going to be a thing that they want to do, even though they've already announced these locations. So they've announced Miami, obviously, in the East Coast. He doesn't realize that most of those stadiums are outdoors on the East Coast. Like you're talking MetLife and them are outdoors. Philadelphia, Lincoln Financial is outdoors. So like you're going to run up against heat, dude. Like that's just going to be a thing. But he said that it's not really heat that they were prepared for, and that he has concerns going forward about playing in some of these environments because they're going to be so hot.
I think that's not going to affect anything next year, but I will say it will affect, I think, the process for maybe World Cups going forward. We joked about global warming earlier a bit, but like there's going to be a time where this gets even worse. And it might be at a certain point where like let's say we get the World Cup in another 20 years where
Yeah.
each one of those is in a dome because of the unbearable heat. I will also say to Europeans, suck it up. We had so many clips.
They don't have any air conditioning, so I don't know why they're complaining.
I know. What the hell? They should be used to this.
It's like 80, and I'm like, that's still hot without air conditioning.
85 degrees, and they're like sitting not on the bench. The German teams are sitting inside the locker room watching the game. And
that's my favorite picture of them all.
That was bizarre. I get that it's hot to them, I guess, but I don't know. 85 is not as bad as it's going to get next summer. Like,
right,
it's going to be hot.
Do you see a world where, just sports in general, do you see a world where teams now, when they build new stadiums, will have at least a retractable roof? Because it seems like we're all the concept plans for Tampa and Florida and Miami and Orlando, like all the new venues have like, at least they have a retractable roof, or they look like they are building like these renovations happening to stadiums. It does look like you could kind of enclose them to make a roof. So it's like, I wonder if stadiums will start to go that direction, because I feel like they have to at some point.
I think especially the Florida teams, in all sports are going to go that way because it's very hot there.
Yeah.
The issue is a lot of these teams see that as like, oh, that's our advantage. But when you're getting record heat waves in every state, it's not eventually. Really well, that too, but it's also not really an advantage then. Everybody's dealing with it at some level. So.
That's a good point. It was fascinating. That's why I brought it up when you were talking about stadiums, because I know it was a hot topic because you have all these influencers, all the people that are like that go into the suites. I love their TikToks, by the way, the soccer suite people. Basically,
no, I don't know who
in the European game, they have like, you can buy like luxury, like they're almost like day pass things where you go and like they feed you before the game. I can't remember what they're called, but like they feed you before the game and then you get like VIP level access and like it's like a VIP kind of thing. And it's not anything like what we would have here in the United States where they're like insane. Like they're still expensive, but they're not like, corporate America insane. But they're still like, like $1,000 or like 1,000 pounds or whatever it is, which is still a lot of money, but not nearly compared to what we pay here in the US for sweet games. But it's like this VIP experience. Well, anyway, they came over, a lot of them, the teams brought over influencers, and they were talking about, they were like, the biggest complaint I have is the heat. It's awful. I was like, this is going to suck for Europeans that come over during our summer and they're going to sit in Miami
2 hours.
And just like melt.
No, it's 2 hours. I don't want to hear it. It's 2 hours. Don't go to the game then. I don't know what to say, because we have way more air conditioning than anywhere else in the world.
Yes.
Where if there's not a game going on, sit in your hotel room and it's air conditioned. Go to a bar and it's air conditioned. Go to the movie theater. It's air conditioned. Go
to the gift shop.
It's air conditioned, right? Like, there is. I don't want to hear it. I really don't. It's 2 hours. I feel more sympathy to the fans, to the players, than I do the fans, because the fans don't have to roll up at 10 a.m. and like start training the way the players will. They can literally show up an hour before the game, find your seat right before kickoff, and sit out there for 2 hours. It's not going to kill you. Unless if you're not staying hydrated. So make sure you stay hydrated. Make sure you wear sunscreen, all that good stuff.
Then it will kill you.
Then it would kill you if you are, not hydrated. Yeah. Okay. So where do we want to start here today? Because we had some, I guess let's actually hit the latest thing that came in that you texted me, which is the transfer that Charlotte has agreed to, right? And they have finally posted it, but it is Ajaman going to Derby County over in the UK. And I would say good move, right? I mean, for both, I would say. I think it's time to cash in after he didn't really light the world on fire in the Gold Cup. and also for him to, if you're going to improve, go overseas and work on your game.
Yeah, this is the dream, isn't it? I mean, playing in the English pyramid, I would call it. I mean, honestly, Jordan, if I was good at soccer, that would be my goal, and I didn't care how I would get there. If I'm going to go play for Derby County, right, who are looking to improve on their 19th place finish from last season.
Historic club.
They are very historic. They've had some issues. But like you said, actually, you know what's funny? Somebody I used to work with, he lives in Derby. He actually has season tickets to
That's
the
right.
Derby games. And it was so fascinating. Like, Jordan, that's the life, right? Like, I think
is he going to hit you up and be like, what is this Ajaman guy?
Who is this guy? No, but if he does, like, I can tell him he's going to be an inconsistent striker. Like, welcome to the U.S. men's national team. But yeah, no, Jordan, I think if I got rich, and not Rich Kirkin, but if I got rich, and I won the lottery and I could retire today, I think I would literally pick up and just do like a full month and a half of like what Paul did that we had on from the Ball is Round podcast way back in the day, where he just went and watched all of soccer, like consumed all the lower level team. Like, that'd be so cool to do.
I was wondering where you're going with that,
go.
because you were talking about your dream of playing. I was like, is he saying that he would like start over after winning the lottery and just start training to try to make it over there? I was gonna have to break your heart. I was like, I think you're past that age now.
Dude, you're 32. That's what they would call past your prime, my guy. Although,
I don't know about
Messi,
you, but
but
you're feeling 32.
Yeah.
But no, Ajaman going there, it's a club record transfer fee and one of the largest transfer fees for an MLS Super Draft pick in league history. And that is seemingly as open as Charlotte is going to be about this. They don't really have numbers. Their official account just says club record transfer fee and one of the largest transfer fees of an MLS Super pick. So I guess we'll see if the full numbers come out.
Reportedly, it was in the ESPN article that it was around the neighborhood of $7 million, but that was according to sources. Like you said, Charlotte's not going to be the one to tell you. Derby's probably going to be the one that tells you.
Yes,
because they have to be very transparent about their moves in England. MLS, we can hide it. We'd be like, we don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
We lost that 20 mil, and we're actually reporting it as 3. And the rest goes to the league.
Yeah. Gam, tam, bam. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, so that's a good move. We'll see how it works out for Ajaman over there. Okay, let's move on to some record-breaking news as well. Miami won a close game against Nashville, and Messi last week acclaimed a record for first player to score multiple goals in 4 straight games. He breaks his own record. He scored 2 goals again this week, which means 5 is the new record. Messi and Surridge, who both faced each other this week, have 16 goals to lead the Golden Boot right now. Right, so we'll see how that plays out. But Miami kind of bouncing back here after a little bit of a. I would say they were kind of heading into the Club World Cup on a downturn. But since they had a good showing there, I feel like they're kind of bouncing back, right? That's kind of the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah, they beat a very good Nashville team too. I think that's definitely worth mentioning. They've got a game coming up against Cincinnati.
And they still have 3 games in hand, and they are 5 points back of Philly. So there's room here, right?
Yeah. A lot of green in that form guide. A lot of green.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we'd be stupid not to consider them a heavy favorite whenever Messi's playing like this, right? I mean, he's the best player in the world still, and he's still doing things at an incredible level. Jordan, we were talking about last World Cup that we weren't even sure he was going to play in this next World Cup. Well, it sure seems like he's going to be playing in this World Cup and beyond, and he just doesn't seem to ever Did you see they asked Mascherano if he ever considers taking him out because of the congestion of games and the amount of games that he's played in? And as you know, the year goes on, he's had some of those injuries in his past at PSG and Barcelona, where he's picked up some muscle issues and has had to miss games late in the season. That's kind of cost the teams. But they asked Mascherano about it, and he said pretty much like, "Are you going to tell him?" I'm like, "You tell Lionel Messi that he's getting removed being up a game or up a goal in a game that he wants to win." So, but Jordan, just the fact that he's doing this and he approaches 40 years old it's unbelievable to watch.
Yeah. 38. I just had like this weird look on my face because I went to double check his stats and it said 10 goals, 6 assists in 13 games, and then refreshed right in front of my eyes to the 16 16 goals in 16 games. And I was like, what just happened? I don't know if it was a glitch with the site or maybe the last time I looked at his stats and then it just refreshed on the app for me, but kind of wild because I was about to say like, oh, I'm gonna have to retract what I just said, but no, it is right. Yeah, I mean, I feel like people were kind of overselling the doom and gloom for Miami. I don't think we really got to that level, but we were kind of concerned. But again, I think we always give the caveat is that they have games in hand, and it seems like they're bouncing back. Their points per game is 2, which would put them first place in the East if we went by points per game. And it actually put them first place in all of MLS by points per game. So if they keep up with that level, they've only lost 3 games this year. It's this weird, I think because it's Miami and because it's Messi and stuff, but like, even if you talk about like remove that they're on pace to be the best team, if you just look at where they stand now with less games, they have the same amount of wins and same amount of losses as Columbus. And people kind of praise Columbus or, you know, I guess because it's all relative because we're expecting more from Miami, but really it's like they had a great run in the Club World Cup. They're now maybe putting it together again under Mascherano for this finishing run here where they're going to have another like 15 matches that they have left. So right now they're on target to be the best team in Major League Soccer again. If they win the Supporter Shield, it's kind of like, okay, like why were we freaking out if you're looking at some of these reactions that people have had, like we said last week or 2 weeks ago when they got bumped off by PSG 4-0, and people were acting like the sky was falling on MLS as a whole, and it's like, what? Like, I don't understand. I mean, they destroyed Real Madrid, PSG, so it didn't really seem to make sense. But now that Chelsea destroyed PSG, maybe it does make sense. Just wanted to throw out that again with Chelsea winning the Club World Cup again. Just keeping bragging that. Okay, but yeah, so Miami beats Nashville. That keeps Nashville in third place. They can't pass go. That leaves Philly in first place, Cincy in second, Columbus in fourth, Miami in 5. And over in the West, we have San Diego, Minnesota, Vancouver with those same amount of points or higher. So, meaning the top 5 in the East have 38 or more points, and in the West, 38 or more points is good for third, second, and first. So it's a very different situation in the East and the West, because I'm starting to think that maybe those top 5 teams in the East are probably the best teams in MLS. Is that uncalled for?
Which teams?
The top 5 in the East: Philly, Cincy, Nashville, Columbus, Miami.
Are the best in the whole league?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I know San Diego, Minnesota, Vancouver fans might be a little upset about that, but
I mean, I watched the way they play, Jordan, like seriously, and as an objective looking at this, because my team is not in the top 5 of the Eastern Conference. They are not a
just
top
missed
5
it.
team. Right, yeah. But they're not better than the top 5 teams in the Eastern Conference. But I look at the Eastern Conference that include Philly, Cincinnati, Nashville, Columbus, and Miami, and I would pick them. Seriously, I would pick them. I'd put money on them if they played San Diego.
I think that's what's throwing me off. San Diego being number 1 is making me not buy into the West.
Yeah. I can see that
It's
though.
making me feel like when St. Louis was top of the West.
Yeah. And it was a weaker West.
You give them a commending, like you're like, yes, you guys are top. That's fantastic. But I don't know if these 3 teams have a shot at actual MLS Cup. I think Vancouver probably does, if they can ever get right again. But they've kind of started free falling, where I'm a little concerned about Vancouver if we want to transition to that.
Yeah.
So, Vancouver are, like I said, 3rd place. This was a team that was 1st place in the West and was leading by a comfortable enough margin where we were like, they might run away with this thing. They might run away with the Supporter Shield. Now they're finding themselves 4 points back or 5 points back of San Diego, and maybe losing one of their players here in a little bit. So I guess, what are your thoughts on Vancouver and the potential transfer here?
I would say it's all but confirmed. There were Jordan, there were tweets today of him in Vancouver with 2 huge suitcases walking down the street. So that's usually not a good sign. But Pedro Vite, 23 years old, a very good player. Their best playmaker in the final third. And you've got Kubas and Brian White that I think they are trying to kind of resettle after the Gold Cup, getting Brian White back in there. They've had the Canadian Championship, so they've had to play in extra games. Plus, you tack on the fact that they're in CONCACAF, they make that deep run, the Champions League and or Champions Cup. But it's just been like the perfect storm. And then this almost feels, Jordan, like a waving of the white flag a little bit. Like this is, and this is where I want to talk about what I texted you about today. I This is why I am so for and pro the MLS MLS as a whole getting on the same transfer calendar and calendar year that the European clubs are, because I feel like this happens quite a bit where top players in this league are transferred out mid-season because the European season is getting ready to start. And I know that he's going to Pumas, but I just feel like we lose value in a lot of our really good players, and I think teams are just wanting to get the deals done, so maybe the value isn't quite there in the return for the MLS, because I feel like European clubs just come in, they swoop in, they need pieces to put together for their team to make a run in August to start their season, and then that leaves MLS with their top players and huge holes in these teams. I mean, Jordan, this is a top team still in Vancouver, and they're about to lose their best playmaker. So this is tough. I mean, this is I think the beginning of, once again, Vancouver, like an avalanche, come tumbling down in the Western Conference, just because they've been awful since they've gotten bounced. So it feels like
What's the form guide look like on their
they've lost 4 of their last 5.
Okay. Because sometimes that website makes my thing glitch out, and they don't really have the form guide on the app. So,
yeah, they've lost 4 of their last 5.
Not good.
No,
Not good.
and this last loss was really bad against Colorado.
4 out of their last 5.
Yeah,
They only have 5 losses, which means 4 of those came from their last 5 matches.
yeah. And then if I look 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3 wins in their last 10.
Yikes. So they're mostly losing and drawing in their last 10.
Mm-hmm.
And here's who's on the rise. Like Seattle is at 33 points. They're in 4th place now. LAFC is not far behind. Portland not far behind. It's a little worrying. A little worrying if you're a Vancouver fan.
Their last 2 losses, Jordan, to the Rapids and LA Galaxy.
Yeah, not good because that was Galaxy's 3rd win, 2nd win of the season. They have 3 total. So
Galaxy are back, man.
They are. I mean, they're only 3 points back of St. Louis.
They're charging 12 points back from Austin, who just lost Brandon Vass. Like,
yes, coming. If they keep winning, they couldn't get up there.
Get Ricky Pooch back out there. Could you imagine?
They'd have to average like a point per match, though, and they don't even do that. So they're probably not going to make it. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, looking at the Galaxy schedule ahead, no kidding. But
no, I don't really know how to, okay, let's transition to the next bit that you had here, which is, can San Diego win the West? They're 2 points up on Minnesota. Vancouver's falling a bit. Why not? Right? Like old school 80s Orioles. Why not? Like,
why not us?
Why not us?
Why not us?
Not us particularly, but San Diego.
No,
why not San Diego?
I mean, we're San Diego fans, Jordan. Like, we don't have an allegiance to a Western Conference team.
Jump to the best team every year. So, yes.
Why shouldn't you? I mean, look at you sitting pretty with Philadelphia. I mean, that's ridiculous.
I just picked them. I mean, that's crazy.
It's not like you have kits from when you're a child or your kid doesn't
not like I had to go through the pain of 2010 and
right. Well, yeah,
2012.
But I mean, realistically, Jordan, they've got the second best player in this league right now, in Anders Dreyer. Like, he is that. And I feel without Lionel Messi, he wins an MVP. But I still think Lionel Messi, barring any kind of crazy circumstance,
16 goals in 16 games right now is MVP.
Yeah. But Dreyer's really good. Like, San Diego, and he should get a lot of credit for that. To come in to a new league, mind you, into a new expansion team, and a new market, unfamiliar place, in what, many probably believed was a very tough Western Conference, because they typically are. But I mean, this year just haven't lived up to that.
Still tough in the sense of 42 points right now is not how much I would have expected at this point of the season for an expansion team. So
yes,
gotta give them their due there. Like that's like almost probably what I would have expected the final tally of points at the end of the season be for a team like this. So okay. Let's I think they can do it, obviously, but I'm actually gonna say maybe I think Minnesota sneaks in there.
I was gonna say, we're gonna give the Loons the number one.
I'm gonna give them the respect here and say I think they get in there. I think they win it. If it doesn't come from one of the dark horse Seattle LAFC like rising from the ashes at the end here in the stretch, but
Jordan, the Loons have like that defense that you like. 25 goals allowed, Boxall leading the charge. They're physical. Like, they like to get into you. It's just, they like to make a messy game of it. And I saw a really interesting.
That's Miami.
Well, yeah. I did see a really interesting stat on the wrap up. I think they said the Loons are last in the league in possession, or like close to last. And they're number one in set pieces. They're also number one team in getting out in transition and going. So it's like, this is a wild team to watch, because
Wild West.
Like, they're not, Wild West, but they're not like, I mean, they score a lot of goals, but like, they don't, I don't know. They just don't feel like the team that scores a ton of goals, but you sit down and look, you got 39 goals. That's up there with a lot of the top teams in East and West. And then they don't allow goals. So it's like, Jordan, you might be right. I think I'm on the ship with you. I'm on the Loon ship. We're on the wings, baby. We're flying high with the Loons. Jack will be happy.
Yeah. All right, let's talk All-Star game because we haven't talked about this roster at all. They added some players, 6 players added. We got Christian Espinoza, Carlos Heel, Hani Mukhtar, Obed Vargas, Marco Pasalic, and Sam Surridge. So those were who were added, and the game, of course, is against Liga MX All-Stars, 9 p.m. Eastern on July 23rd, which is next week. But let's go through the total here. So we got goalkeepers so far. Dane St. Clair, who was voted in. Brad Stuver was a coach selection. We have Yohei Takioka from Whitecaps was a coach's selection. Defenders, we have Jordi Alba, who was voted in. Max Arfston from the Crew was a coach's selection. Tristan Blackman was voted in. Michael Boxall was voted in. Alex Freeman was voted in. Jacob Glesnes was a coach selection. Andy Nahar, coach's selection. And Miles Robinson, coach's selection. Midfielders, we have Sebastian Berhalter, who was voted in. David DaCosta, coach's selection. Espinoza, coach's selection, like we just mentioned. Evander was voted in. Carlos Heel, selected. Diego Luna, voted in. But bad thing about Diego Luna getting voted in here is he's not going to win an Emmy. He did not get nominated for Andor.
Yeah, it's
at
really
all.
too bad. Yeah,
It's a shameful thing. But I guess he gets a chance to play an All-Star game. Hani Mukhtar, coach's selection. Jeppy Turfskov from San Diego FC, coach's selection. Obed Vargas, like we just mentioned. And Zinkernagel from Chicago, coach's selection. The forwards, Ty Baribo was voted in, deservedly so. Denny Bwanga voted in. Andreas Dreyer was a selection. Chucky Lozano was a commissioner's pick. Lionel Messi was voted in. Marco Pasalic, like we just said, selected. Diego Rossi, selected. Sam Surridge, selected. And Brian White voted in. So I ask of you, out of all of these here, where is Olivier Giroud? I'm just kidding. Who is a snub here in the MLS All-Star game?
Oh, Martin Ojeda from Orlando City. He's been their best player. He is not listed.
There you go.
He is better than Pasalic. Yeah,
really?
right now. Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's hard to like MLS. I'm trying to think of like guys that I feel like are just missing from this roster. Like I'm trying to go through. I didn't really. And the bad thing is, if you type in MLS snubs on X, it brings up MLB, and I'm like, I don't want to know MLB.
I thought you were going to say it came out like something dirty or something.
Well, yeah, I mean,
what would that stand for?
Let's see. Christian Espinoza was snubbed, but he gets picked.
Rectified, right?
Yes, which I felt like he was big time. Sam Surridge thing, same thing. Rectified, rightfully so. I mean, a lot of the coaches' decisions, I guess you could look at coaches' decisions. They were originally snubbed, like we didn't vote them in. I mean, Carlos Heel's a really big name.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that like Dreyer was a coach's selection.
Yeah, like
not like voted in.
And Berhalter voted in blows my mind. Like I know he's been good, but he is not better than Hani Mukhtar, Carlos Heel. Like that's just not.
It really is like I guess at that point Vancouver was probably flying high, right? I mean,
yeah,
that's probably a part of it. But Nashville's been flying high, so I don't know.
Trying to look up, like it brings me when I look up MLS snubs, Jordan, it brings up years prior. Like I'm like, I don't need to know that.
I think
Sean Johnson was mentioned. Oh, Kevin Dankey's not on there.
Yeah. I think they mostly got it right. I can't really think off the top of my head that anybody is really missing.
These
so
people
I'm
say
not
Kai Wagner too.
Yeah, so whatever. The fact that Baribo was voted in is mind blowing to me because a lot of in like years past, I feel like some of those players that are voted in would have been overlooked where they would have had to been a coach's selection. But like some of the fans actually voted in like very deserving players, which is not always the case. A lot of times they'll vote for the All-Stars,
Also, can we talk about the fact that like Andy Nahar, the dude's been incredible. He is embodies MLS. Like you were talking about it like damn, like I remember him playing like 10 years ago. Like
yeah,
this is
as
crazy.
a kid. Yeah, when he was a kid. I mean, he was young.
It's just nuts. Like I saw him on wrap up today, and I'm like, as somebody that covers the whole league, you don't see everybody every time. Like you
Right.
see the big names, but you forget like Andy Nahar. I mean, he's been the best back in the league. Like he's been solid this year.
It was a good move.
Yeah. And we were kind of like, I remember when we talked about it, you were like, that's a good move. Like you're like, I don't know if he's still got what he had, but if he does, that's a damn good move. And you're right. Like it's been a good experience for him.
Philly took down Red Bulls. They were supposed to have a double feature this past week where they played them in the Open Cup and then played them on the weekend. The Open Cup game was moved because of, you guessed it, storms, circling it right back to the beginning of this podcast. And then the Crew destroyed Cincy, so it really was hell is real for Cincinnati.
Did you see how that game went? It was exactly like they got bounced in the playoffs.
I mean,
Crew go down 2-0, and then right before halftime,
they got the magic. I guess I don't know.
Is it one of those things? Do you think that it's just like that team owns you over there? Like, do you know how there's teams that they just play you well? Like, it just feels like the Crew have always been the big brother, and since he's like, hey, what about us?
I don't know. It's very like early, I think, in this. Like Cincinnati hasn't been around long enough to really know, but as of this time, it's more news when Cincinnati wins hell is real, right? Than it is when they don't, because it's more rare. Okay, let's talk about the DC news. I mean, I don't really have many words for this, but DC United fired their coach. Troy Lesense is fired on July 10th, and you sent me this, and I said, what was my response? I was like, here we go. We're like,
yeah.
I mean,
round and round we go.
Round and round we go. I mean, we just talked about this at the beginning of. It's been a year and a half somehow that Troy Lesense has been ahead of this club. But this is something they hit the button on. I don't even know how many times since we've been podcasting that this has happened.
Well, the head coach and Rooney, the whole team.
Then they got rid of Rooney, right? Then we had
Hernan Losada. That was an experience.
Losada.
And then they bring in Wayne Rooney again. It's been like this weird. Like, are they going to call Wayne Rooney again?
Well, I mean, he's not a Derby, right? So I mean, that's fine. Let me take a look here. History of DC United managers. I want to see, because then also sometimes it's firing the coach and the GM, and it just goes and goes and goes. So since we've been podcasting, they fired Ben Olsen October 8th, 2020. So around the time I started this show. Okay. Yeah. Chad Ashton was the interim manager. Then they bring in Losada. Losada lasts a year pretty much, right? January 18th to 2021 to April 20th, 2022.
And he called people fat. I remember that.
How is this? That's got to be the okay. Oh, because of COVID and stuff, I guess. Because it says he only did 12 matches in a year. Losada.
Yeah, he only did 12. He got fired 12 games into the season.
Then why does it say January 2021 to April 20th, 2022?
Maybe because he was out of coaching.
What was the 2021 season like? It was a full season, right?
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure he got fired 12 games into the year.
I think so too, but maybe they have the date wrong.
I think they do. Like, he got fired quickly because we were like, dang, that was quick. Something must have happened.
Because then they went back to Chad Ashton for interim. Then they had Wayne Rooney for 53 matches.
Mm-hmm.
Then they had, Brian as interim coach. He did one game. Then Troy Lesense, and now Kevin Flanagan. So just since we've been podcasting, they've done this, fired Olsen, Lasada, Rooney, Troy Lesense. This is number 4 in 5 years, 4.5 years. So almost every year they're firing somebody. And usually on the seasons, I feel like where they didn't fire their coach, they fired the GM or something. I don't know. Like,
and it just seems to always their team 50 times.
Yes.
Like, every time that we do a DC United preview, it is by far the longest notes that I have to do because of the players in, players out. It's every year. It's like a whole new cast of characters.
They just missed out.
Benteke, I'm like, what the hell?
Just missed out on the playoffs last year. Lose on decision day. They're out. This year, they sit 12th in the East, 19 points. 4 wins, 10 losses, 7 draws at the time of his firing. I don't think the team has been super built well anyway. Like, they ended up moving on a lot of players and not really bringing in enough, I feel like, after a season where you just missed the playoffs. So that always felt kind of strange to me, but who knows? I don't even remember what we predicted. Let me see. Last. So we were down on them coming in. Okay.
Yeah. I was going to say, if I was high on them, then I was also high on something else.
Okay.
Jordan, listen to this. Like, their leading goal scorer is Christian Benteke, who's only played 15 games this year. You want to guess how many goals do you think he has?
It's not as many as he usually has. I want to guess 8 goals.
Close. 6 goals.
Oh, damn. That's their leading goal scorer.
Yeah. In 15 games. Mind you, he's not even played anywhere close to full game load. So
there you go. St. Louis had a first half hat trick, or a first hat trick from João Klaus. They drew with the Galaxy 3-3. Austin beat Red Bull 2-1. Is that right? Are these old scores? Or are these right?
What? These are old. That's
okay.
Right. Where did you read that?
Right underneath the DC United stuff.
Sorry, I forgot to take this off the notes. Sorry, everybody out there.
I was really confused because I was like, wait, Union beat New York. I was
really didn't update that part of the notes. Those are old. Mine.
That's all right.
My bad.
That's right. So we had Saturday. Yeah, okay. Saturday. Well, we had Wednesday night games, right? We had a weird Miami beat New England. Open Cup Nashville destroyed DC United. LAFC beat Colorado. And then on Saturday, Orlando, Montreal drew 1-1. Philly beat Red Bulls 2-0. Toronto and Atlanta 1-1. Miami, Nashville 2-1. Miami won that one. Austin, New England played to a draw, 0-0. San Diego beat Chicago 2-1. Minnesota beat San Jose 4-1. Seattle beat SKC 3-2. Columbus beat Cincinnati 4-2. Charlotte beat NYCFC 2-0. Colorado beat Vancouver 3-0. RSL beat Houston 1-0. LA Galaxy beat DC United 2-1 in our Shame of the Week. And LAFC beat Dallas 2-0. And St. Louis beat Portland 2-1. We got some games tomorrow. Let's take a look at that. Atlanta, Chicago at 7:30. Charlotte, DC United. Cincy, Miami. Red Bull, New York versus New England. Orlando, NYCFC. Philly, Montreal. Then at 8:30, we have Houston, Vancouver. Minnesota, LAFC. Nashville, Columbus. And then at 10 o'clock, Seattle, Colorado. At 10:30, we have LA Galaxy versus Austin. Portland versus RSL, San Diego versus Toronto, and San Jose versus Dallas. So, Logan, why don't you give us your game of the week and shame of the week for Wednesday, and I'll do the Saturday matches.
Okay. I'm going to go game of the week is the one they're advertising anyway. Actually, no. Dang, there's two really good games. No, I'm switching it. I'm going to go with Nashville and Columbus.
It's a good one.
I just feel like Columbus is the
Were you going to say Miami, Cincy?
I was. But right now, I don't know. I think there's a bigger margin, or no, not bigger margin. There's definitely a bigger gap, I think, between the talent of Miami and Cincinnati than there would be against Nashville, Columbus. So that's my reasoning. Okay. It's in Geodis Park. Tough game for the Crew. Can the Crew go into Nashville and pick out a game? And again, the Crew right there with Columbus, so they're tied on points. So if the Crew can go into Geodis, into enemy territory and pick that out, then they will move ahead. And plus, I don't know. I'm just always amazed by the Crew, Jordan. Like, did you know too? They said this on wrap up. This is the best start they've ever had. I'm like, that's crazy because they keep losing all their best players and somehow they get better. Like, it just blows my mind. And then I guess shame of the week. I'm going to go Galaxy Austin. I feel like that's an easy one. Austin sitting on the cusp of a playoffs, but they just bore me. Like, there's nothing exciting about them. And
they have not done anything since entering the league.
Yes, which is a shame. Like, because we talked with Aaron from Austin and TV, and it just, they were so excited to get a team there. And just everything around it with ownership and the celebrities in and around it, the buy-in from the fans, the attendance is always really good, and they've just underwhelmed at every turn, and they continue to do so, and they will continue to do so. They're stuck now in behind Brandon Vasquez, who's gone down with an injury now, and they're just like in no man's land all the time, this team. And then the Galaxy, it's just easy pickings.
Hey, maybe this is LA Galaxy continuing their ascent. Then we have the Saturday matches. Atlanta, Charlotte at 7:30, Montreal, Chicago, Columbus, DC, New England, Orlando, Red Bull, Miami, 8:30, Dallas, St. Louis, Houston, Philly, Nashville, Toronto, Seattle, San Jose, SKC, NYCFC, 9:30, RSL, Cincinnati, 10:30, the El Tráfico. And then we have Portland, Minnesota, and San Diego, Vancouver. So I'm going to go with San Diego, Vancouver as match of the week, game of the week on Saturday. I think this is a chance for San Diego to really stick it to Vancouver, or a chance for Vancouver to say, hey, hold up a second here. We're back. And while that's going on, Minnesota's going to beat Portland and be like, actually, we're the ones you should be worrying about. So that's what's going to happen on Saturday. Shame of the week, I'm going to go with Dallas, St. Louis. I don't think I'm going to watch that one. It just doesn't speak to me.
It's a game, so I don't think it will, but.
Oh, well, sometimes I talk to the TV and my wife says, they can't hear you and won't respond back. And I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. It speaks to me.
Yeah. My wife's always the, do you think they can hear you? I was like, they freaking better, because I'm tired of this.
I'm doing it for me. I'm not doing it for them. Okay.
No, Jordan, I'm literally yelling, hoping that Orlando City can hear me down the street. Like
they might be able to. That is somebody that might be able to. But the MLS All-Star Game is on the 23rd at 9:00. So that is going on. Oh, I didn't know this. It's going to be on free for Apple TV. It's also going to be on DirecTV, Xfinity, and Amazon Prime Video.
Oh, good. I gotta go out and get my satellite dish up on my house.
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm gonna watch it on each one of these. I'm gonna put it on,
see which one's
in each room, see which one's ahead, and then watch that one.
I from what I remember about going to like the bars, because they always have DirecTV. I think DirecTV is the slowest, from what I remember.
Yeah, when I was watching the Club World Cup on TNT or whatever, this
The Zone, baby.
Thought Mob had were sending me stuff way ahead of time.
Things. Jordan, they are spoilers. Those Thought Mob.
Sometimes I flip my phone over there face down, so I don't
have to
do that.
Yeah. For a long time there, MLB was sending me, or not MLB, Apple, and I could not figure out how to turn it off. But it kept telling me the Cubs are in a close game, and then be like, the Cubs walk it off. I'm like, why'd you tell me? Why'd you tell me that? I'm literally watching it. Like, why are you doing that? So I had to turn. Apple's is really bad too, because like they're way ahead, and it, you know what it is? It's somebody working for that specific entity, and they're plugging in, hey, this is what's happening as it's going. Did I tell you when I went to Orlando City, I sat next to a guy that worked for Thought Mob?
Oh,
like was in the press box, and he was like,
"Yeah, I think you did." Yeah,
I was like, "That's crazy to me," because he was just punching things.
Yeah, it's like, somebody there. That's why they're ahead of time. It's because it's like the same thing when you follow a reporter on Twitter.
Yep.
Or I guess when I'm live tweeting at the Union game, I guess too. Like I'm ahead.
You're ruining it for them.
I'm spoiling other people. I understand now what I'm doing, and it's hurtful. It is hurtful. Yeah. Well. I vow to wait 30 seconds next time I'm at the game.
Or even better, wait like an hour.
Yeah, like Todd's in the car after the game, and he just gets a tweet from me that says 34th minute goal.
Really don't like the way the Union went into the first half as the lights are off.
It's like, oh, I scheduled those ahead of time when they actually happen, so not to spoil people. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I have to get to a game. I have to use that press pass at some point because it's been tough. I really want to get Landon out to a game, but I don't know. Might be next year. I don't know if I'm going to get to one this year because like a lot of the Union games are like they have like a couple in August and then like that's it, like one in September or something. So where they're at home. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get out to one.
Just take him to the MLS final.
Well, that would be the ideal, wouldn't
it? If Philadelphia hosted the MLS Cup final, would you go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other stupid questions you have for me?
Yeah,
that's like saying like
yeah. Did you wake up today? Yeah. Would you take Landon or would you go by yourself?
I would take him. Well, it depends. It's December, so it's going to be cold.
Cold. That's true. And right there, damn, if that state, Jordan, I don't think I've ever been more cold in my life.
And that was in April. So
I know that's what doesn't make any sense. Like for a Floridian, that doesn't make any. If you said that to a Floridian, they'd be like, "What are you talking about? It was cold in April. It's like 90 here in April."
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, I think they would understand it because if you're talking about up here, because I'm sure if any Floridian comes up here,
it was like, 70. It was cold. Yeah. But dude, it was like 50 with a chilly wind. I was like, this is not fun. We got like 12 layers on.
At Landon's birthday, my nephew is sitting in the living room of my parents' house with the blanket on, and it's like 90 degrees outside. Now, of course, there was the air conditioning on. But my parents do not have it as cold as I do in my house. So
the kid's a Floridian.
Yeah, he was. He is a Floridian now. So
cold when it's 90.
Most of his life has been down there, I guess, at this point. He forgot what it's like to be a Marylander. Okay.
No shame in that one.
Don't forget who you are. Like very Mufasa, but it's like a giant crab in the sky.
Yeah.
With the Maryland flag
seasoning
waving behind it.
And then, like, when they do Simba with the paint on his head, it's Old Bay seasoning.
It's Old Bay. We're off the rails. Okay. Thank you so much for watching and listening along at Stateside Show on all of our social medias if you want to send us any sort of feedback. But other than that, enjoy the games tomorrow. Enjoy the games on Saturday as we prepare for the All-Star game coming up next week, where the MLS All-Stars will once again face off against Liga Mekki's All-Stars.
Yay.
Yay, we're so excited.
Yay.